I want to speak about the ongoing and increasingly urgent efforts to avoid. The power to solve this is in our hands. And on a day when we've been reminded how fragile the economy already is, this is one burden we can lift ourselves. We can end it with a simple vote, a vote that Democrats and Republicans have been taking for decades.
The clock is ticking. The clock is ticking on the need for us to raise the debt ceiling so that we do not default on our past obligations, that we uphold the full faith and credit of the United States of America.
I stuck my neck out a mile to try to get an agreement with the President of the United States. I stuck my neck out a mile.
We're faced with a predicament where August 2nd is looming on the horizon. Now it's Friday. For folks who don't know, we're not going home tonight after work. Don't worry, Madam Speaker. As you know, this House is going to be in full swing tonight, tomorrow morning, tomorrow night, on Sunday, on Monday, to get America through this challenge.
Blumenthal, Brown of Ohio, Conrad, Begich, Kerry.
We cannot wait for the House any longer. It's time for Republicans to stop the political games and embrace compromise. No matter how long Republicans delay, the deadline will not move. We have hours, I repeat, hours tagged. That's why by the end of the day, today, I must take action on the Senate's compromise legislation. The legislation in point would cut $2.5 trillion from our deficit over the next decade and avert a default on our national debt.
It's up to the Senate, and that means it's up to Senator McConnell to either negotiate himself or give permission to others to negotiate so that we can finally come to a bipartisan agreement.
Our Democratic friends here in the Senate have offered no solutions to this crisis that could pass either chamber, not one. Instead, all day long yesterday, we got chest-thumping comments about how we're going to kill any piece of legislation that comes over from the House, that it's dead on arrival. Democrats are out bragging about how they're going to prolong the crisis instead of doing the hard work of trying to solve it. And that includes the president. Look, if the president hadn't decided to blow up the bipartisan solution that members of Congress worked so hard to produce last weekend, we'd be voting to end this crisis today.
If not, the ayes are 59, the nays are 41. The motion to table, the motion to concur in the House amendment to S 627 is agreed to.
Today, I'd like to speak with you about the ongoing and urgent efforts to avoid a first-ever default and get our fiscal house in order. Republicans in the House of Representatives just spent precious days trying to pass a plan that a majority of Republicans and Democrats in the Senate had already said they wouldn't vote for. It's a plan that wouldn't solve our fiscal problems, but would force us to relive this crisis in just a few short months. It would hold our economy captive to Washington politics once again. If anything, the past few weeks have demonstrated that's not acceptable.